What's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 12 of the Lucky Ace podcast. I'm your host, Lucky J, here with my man, AJ.
What's up?
We got AJ here continuing to do our podcast. I know we've taken a little bit of a break, so I do apologize for that. We just had to go ahead and reload on a bunch of cool stories and amazing content for y'all so that we could provide more. So, first topic that I just kind of want to touch on was what we had last weekend. Lucky Ace had our very first A-tier event, the 20th annual Live Oak Summer Open. This was a special one. I know, AJ, I know you went out there for a day.
Yeah, it was cool.
First off, I want to thank you because you look like you were on your last last bit of battery.
Yeah.
I know you had a wedding the day before, and we're on zero sleep.
Yeah, Texas is big. You'd think driving, from one city to another wouldn't be that bad, but no, it'll take you all day.
Not only that, it was hot.
Dude, I got optimistic because I got there at like a little around 10ish and it was like high 80s. I'm like, I can live with this. And then by the time the lead card started, it was well past 100.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen our stamp, the Lucky Ace stamp. We had two different stamps because the city put in so much. We wanted to do a specific stamp for them that went into the players pack. But in our stamp, I don't know that you noticed the Lucky Ace stamp, there was a little sun.
Yeah.
And it was the Mario, not really, but
Legally distinct,
yeah. Mario sun. And I've seen a few memes sometimes where they'll say, the sun in Mario, well, the level where the sun, it's all hot, that's Texas. And
you're not wrong.
That's what it felt like the whole weekend. We actually almost lost one of our members. I don't know if you were aware.
Yeah, I heard something about Lance not being okay.
Lance had a little bit. So we'll start with story time, Lance, but it'll be on a little bit of a serious note because he had a little issue after the first day. So the first day he was announcing, everything was great. People were having an amazing time with Lance. You know how he does. Then that night we're doing T signs for the Lakeside course. And I noticed he's like tired, but I guess that was kind of obvious. We were all tired.
Sure.
He was a bit quiet, and we actually had a little bit of a argument kind of before he went to bed. So like
things were heated.
I felt horrible the next day knowing that he ended up having to. So he woke up in the middle of the night, didn't wake up anybody. Nobody. Okay. Gets in his car because he's having like a little bit of hard time breathing. Not so much chest pain, just a hard time breathing.
Okay.
And he's kind of panicking. So he drove himself to the ER, which is the number one no-no.
Yeah.
Lance, you could have woken one of us up.
That's a new level of petty. He might have been dying, and he's like, by myself. No, I'm not going to ask you for help.
So there's something else too that this, and I laughed about this after the fact. I didn't laugh about it during, but in my parents' house, there's a long driveway and there's a gate, and you have to get down and open the gate, drive through it, get down and close the gate. Well, Lance, through his what we thought could have been a heart attack, took the time to get off and close the gate too. So I was like,
That's
Lance,
courteous.
I was like, you're having a heart attack and you decided to close the gate still? I was like, you're crazy, dude. You just go, man. Like, anyway, so he goes to the ER. Probably like 2 a.m. Doesn't wake anybody up. So I don't know any of this until I wake up the next morning to a text. But I guess what happened was he had a little bit of a blood clot from a injury that he had in Uvalde playing disc golf. He fell, twisted his ankle real bad, and he was dealing with inflammation for weeks.
Oh my God.
So that turned into an issue where there was a blood clot that was close to his lung. So that was why he couldn't really breathe. And that's one of the signs of having that. So
wow. Long
story short, though, he stayed in the ICU the whole weekend, which was what troubled me a lot because I'm like, okay, well, what the hell? Like,
yeah, you think they'd figure that out?
Let's get him, and then they'd probably put him in a regular room. Even if they're going to keep him, they'd put him in a regular room. So the fact that he was still in the ICU was worried. And throughout the whole weekend, I was letting the cards know because they were like, "Oh, you took over Lance," and I was like, "No, not on purpose." And then I tell them, and they'd be like, "Oh, whoa!" Like, it was cool to see the concern that everybody had for Lance. Yeah, from people just like meeting him for the first time.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
That's the impression that Lance gives to people. Good or bad? Usually good. Yeah. Sometimes bad because he's a bit much. But yeah, we're just happy that you're good, Lance. I saw him today. I had breakfast with him at Snooze.
Nice.
He's doing fine. They said that they went in through his arm, and then they looked into his heart. Everything's clear. No problems there. That's good. So yeah, it really just stemmed from that injury.
Crazy.
And he might need a little encouragement on a healthier lifestyle. So I think me and him are gonna go ahead and do so, because I could use a few pounds to be honest with you. So I think we're both gonna get on a little bit of a health kick after we ate Snooze this morning, because I did have a pain.
It's your last day, your last hurrah.
Yeah, my last.
And then tomorrow,
hopefully when this comes out, it'll definitely be my last. No, but it was a great time having Lance. So the first day, and then the second day, I had to hop on the mic.
You were tearing it up though. I walked in and all I heard, you were moving those raffle tickets. That's all I was setting up camera.
So,
and you were moving units.
So I think that was the talk, because Mason was like, Jay, he's like, I could tell you had so much fun, and I could tell everybody else was having fun, and everybody was just laughing at me because the whole time Mauricio, the guy from AC/DC who was running the raffle, was just like, Jay, hey, we haven't sold that much. I wasn't able to make it the first day because I had stuff going on. Can you help me sell these? And I was like, I got a microphone. Like, I can do all things now. So in between announcing, which this was also a cool thing too, because I'm really good at faces but horrible with names. So as I'm calling people out, I'm saying their names, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to remember your name now, because I know all these people, by face. But man, for some reason, like I'm so horrible with names, I can't remember them.
Well, there's a lot of pressure too when you're having to literally yell it in front of everyone there at the event, and stuff, and sending them off. People are recording on their phones. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I like to give, like I told everybody, I'm all about player experience when I'm TDing these events. Like, there could be a lot going wrong in the background, and there's a lot of stress and a lot of stuff going on. But as long as my players don't see that part and they just have a great experience, like, that's what I'm going for.
Sure.
And I would ask, how do you pronounce your last name? Funny, I didn't say that on any Hispanic names. It was only other people. I don't know. The Spanish names are so easy because just like it's spelled is just the way it sounds. When I'm on the English names, I was like silent letters. My buddy Kevin Fullman, last name Fullman, but it starts with like a K. Or I'm sorry, it starts with a P.
Okay.
P Fullman, so Fullman. But it's Fullman.
That's just asking to mess people up.
Yeah, no. So, dude, I make sure I get people's names right. And the reason for that, when I was a telemarketer, my first job, I butchered, it was Gwen.
Just GWEN?
No, the NGUYEN.
Oh, okay.
The Asian way of saying it, right? Mm-hmm. And I said Nujian.
That's an understandable mistake.
And he goes, it's Gwen. And I was like, oh.
Like, it's not spelled that way, my dude.
My bad, dude. I'm sorry. And it was just nothing. There was no sale there. Like,
fair.
Immediately. So ever since then, like, I make sure that I try my best to at least pronounce their name. So I'll ask them. Before I was a little nervous to even ask, but I'm like, they understand. I mean, I understand. My last name is Almaguer. How the hell I get people Almaguera, Almaguer, and I'm like, where's the A? I don't see an A at the end, but that's cool. Whatever.
No, I hear
Good try.
Yeah. Dude, my last name is Cuevy with a Quevy, and no, I don't think anyone's nailed it the first try. I get Queevy, I get like Quincy. It's a nightmare. As someone with a not common last name, I feel for most of those players whose names just get butchered every time. And
yeah, because like I've been to these pro events where they mispronounce Val's and Alexis's last name.
Yeah,
and they were making fun of that in that little YouTube video they did with Ezra and Isaac Robinson. I mean, it's something that's like, it might seem small, but it's really big to people, especially when you get those European players coming over and playing in the U.S. Yeah. Like, taking the time to get their name right is important to them. Again, ADD podcast, right? I'll go to another story of one of our events that we did. I'll get back to Loso, but I'll get to another story where Anton, you haven't met Anton yet.
Okay.
Good friend of mine. He was doing the announcements at the Zip, and he was something else now. Like he would create a story, a freestyle, and like it was so much fun. But there's a big community in Austin of deaf disc golfers.
Cool.
And a few of them came out to the event, and one of my cousins is deaf. Now I don't know a lot of sign language, but I know how much it means to them when you just take the time and try and learn, a little bit of their language, like how they like to be called or signed.
ASL, yeah.
Exactly. So I reached out to my cousin who is, it's brother to my cousin that's deaf, and he translates for a living. So I go, hey, how do I ask this guy how he likes his name to be said? And he showed me how to do it. And I went up to Anton, and I told Anton, I was like, look, hey, I want you to do this. You're going to be asking the guy how he likes to be signed, and when you announce him, do it in sign language and do it quietly, and I'll try to get everybody to clap. And ASL is like this.
That's really cool.
And he did it, and the guy's reaction was worth everything, because it was like almost tears, but just like, wow, like that's cool. Like you took the time, and it means everything. So a little insight on how to make a player's experience great at your events. Make sure you know how to say their last names, and if it's some deaf person, make sure you go above and beyond, because not a lot of people do that for them. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. That was a good moment in my TD career as a disc, because it's one of those things where I'm like, this is why I do it. These little moments right here, or like when you announce a kid for the first time and he's just like, oh my God, I've never been announced like that, or like these rec players that never do get announced, and you got Lance like going all out for them. We had a video of the Texas States where Lance is going all out for the Pro 70 players, and some of those guys were back at our event.
That's really cool.
Yeah, some of those guys were there. So, you make the experience, they want to come play more, and it's just growing the sport. So,
yeah. I mean, that's a really cool thing, because not a lot of people get to, like, that's the closest that they'll get to, watching the pro players on TVs, hearing someone from their hometown and stuff. It's a cool feeling that most people, I feel like, don't like. A rec league basketball player isn't going to be able to experience that. But in the disc golf community, that's something that they get to experience. That's something that's unique to the sport that is really cool.
Yeah. No, it's, the experience. I mean, you feel like a pro pretty much whenever you're leaving the event. And that's what I strive for. That's what when I'm bringing everything that I've learned from touring with Mason. I say touring, I'm not touring obviously, but I'm multiple stops a year. I get to see how these great TDs that I look up to are running these events. And I like to take a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here. Like, hey, like, let's make Loso like that. It's an A tier. Let's make it professional. Let's line everything. Let's line all OB. Let's make sure that the fairways are tight. Let's give let's make sure that these par fours that everybody birdies, let's get bogeys, man.
Yeah.
I told Mason, I was like, look, because Freddie was our guy last year that took it down from the third card. Shot 13 down, was a course record. And I told Mason, I was like, I'm going to put OB up so you can't shoot that 13 down. And it's a little bit different of a course now. It's a little harder. We push some holes back. So it's different. And round one, Mason, 13 down. I was like, golly, man.
He was good, man.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not only is he good, it's his home course. I mean, we talked about it. He's like, towards the end of his round, he said he was getting a little frustrated, even though he was up like 9 strokes.
He was pretty comfortable.
But with somebody, with a pro like that, it's like you're constantly critiquing yourself. You're constantly making sure your game is on tight. And one thing that Mason doesn't do, and I'm not. This is not a diss at all. You don't want to play to your competition. You want to play to your best. Mm-hmm. Whether your competition is better or a little bit under par. Like I said, not a knock at those guys, but Mason is a touring pro. Let's be real. You know what I mean? So he wants to set the bar. He's not trying to play the where the bar is at during the tournament. Yeah. So he was a little bit on himself towards the end, from what I hear. I wasn't caddying, I was announcing. So my man Keith Meets took my spot. But yeah, always trying to get better. And then he kind of like cooled it on 16. Was just like, I'm in my home course. I'm comfortably winning. This is basically where I learned how to play disc golf in my professional career. Like, this is my home course. This is where I've learned to make sure that I hit those lines and everything, and be comfortable hitting little tight lines and distance. Like, there's everything out there on that course.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful course if you haven't been.
Yeah, it was my first time there. I really wanted to. One day I will go back and play, because
You're more than welcome to come whenever, man. Like, I love playing that course, and it is the best course in San Antonio. I mean, you can't. The Zip, it's in Helotes, so obviously our shop's there. I don't want to be super biased, but when it comes to professional like course, I mean, it was made by John Hawk, so that gives you if you don't know who that is, probably one of the best course designers like on the planet.
Okay,
so that gives you an idea. He designed both of them. Lakeside, I would say, needs a little bit of adjusting and stuff like that, but Hillside is perfect. I mean, it's such a great course. So if you want to better your disc golf career, playing at a place from the San Antonio area, playing at a place like Live Oak Hillside, I mean, you're getting everything there. Yeah. So, so Mason, a little hard on himself, but then he kind of brought it all back, and it's just like, man, this is a special moment. Loso is now an A tier.
That's really cool.
That was important to me. I think you saw at the end the cool moment that we had with the not just like the city workers that were there helping us out, but also the mayor.
Yeah. And I liked she used a little lingo too. She was talking about,
she heard me say throwing plastic. Yeah, and she said it too. Like,
that's cool. What a cool mayor.
Yeah, she gets it. She totally gets it. And I really want to just kind of bring. We talked a little bit before the podcast. I decided like not to be political, not to talk about everything that's going on right now. I know that's the big subject, and I'm sure that's clickbait for a lot of people. I'm gonna leave it to my players. I'm gonna also leave it to the PDGA on how they handle things. But what I want to highlight is how much women's disc golf does for our area, specifically being San Antonio. And that has a lot to do with the ladies over there in that area are great. I mean, you got Debbie, she's in San Antonio. You got Megan Jansen, Alan Jansen's wife, and then the new president of I don't know if they consider her president, but she's definitely our leader, and that's Amy Monahan.
Okay.
That lady is amazing. She is. Oh God, look, Lance is interrupting. Hold on one second. Hey, dude. Hey, you're interrupting this podcast.
Put him on speaker. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, you should be sorry. I was just talking about Loso. I told your story on how you almost died and you didn't tell anybody.
For real, bro? Why?
Because we're concerned about you, man. We want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say, bro, I appreciate you and everyone that checked on me, bro. That showed it mean a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I think I've always told you, Lance, like, man, I hate you, but I couldn't live without you.
Well, next time, ask someone to take you to the freaking ER too, dude. Come on, don't be a hero.
Hey, your parents definitely stressed on that. They were upset. They were like, why didn't you wake us? And I felt so bad.
You should. Yeah, you definitely should. But anyway, I want to get back to this pod. I'll be here for about another 30, 45.
Okay, cool.
All right, bye.
Yeah, that was a cool event. Like, just seeing how the course, how technical it was, how cool it was, seeing different skill levels, tackling it, and the way they approached it differently. Like, watching Mason tackle holes differently is just like, oh, that's how a touring pro takes this type of course. It was pretty eye opening.
Yeah, no, amazing. One of the best run events I've been a part of. I'm not just saying that because I was a TD, because I definitely had a lot of help. And before we were so rudely interrupted by Lance, I was talking about Amy Monahan from ACDC. There was the second day when I was sending cards out, I told them I wanted to do story time, and they loved it. All right. Let's do story time. And my story time was about Amy. The cool thing is on one of the cards, her husband was there, So I was able to do it, and he didn't know I was doing it. So I was able to do it for his card, and he was just so happy and thankful because she does deserve a ton of credit. I mean, she's the one that organized the relationship with the city, all the free food. I mean, we had, because of Amy, and this is my story. Let me just get into the story before I say everything that she did, because the story has a beginning, and then we can get into what women's disc golf has done for us in our area, because that's what I want to highlight. So Amy ran a all women's event for her Wildflower Tour. I don't know if you've heard of the Wildflower Tour. The Mint Ladies, the Wolf Pack, they call themselves. Renee, Stephanie, and Des Redding. So they're like the Wolf Pack. They have with Mint Discs, they have created this Wildflower Tour, which is an all women's event, which is awesome because you get ladies going out and playing with other ladies, not having to deal with our weird guys that go out there that are they're just cool, but sometimes they're just a little weird, and you don't want to play around them.
That's fair.
So and you want to get more comfortable in the game with people that play similar to you, because what works for me is not going to work for somebody else or a lady, and that's just the way it is. So she ran an all women's event, had over 70 people, all women.
Wow.
Which was huge. And Live Oak, their park, like the board of the what do they call that? The park and rec department.
Sure. Yeah.
It is an all female staff.
Really?
Thank God. That's why it's run so well. But yeah, so it's an all female staff. So of course they noticed that. They're like, wow, look at all these, there's a bunch of women disc golfers. Like, we usually just see a bunch of weird guys out here.
Yeah.
So then that piqued their interest. They found out that Amy was the TD for that. So not only were there just a bunch of women playing disc golf in an all women's event, but it was also being run by a woman. They loved it, and they got behind it immediately. And their next question was, what do y'all have planned next?
Oh, let's go.
And, I've been blessed because of Amy's hard work. LOSO was the next thing up, and it's a very important event for the San Antonio area. I was able to talk to a couple of the guys that were there for the first LOSO. I'm talking like 2003, I believe.
Okay.
Or two. Yeah, no, 2003, because it was the 20th annual. But I think there was 1 year they skipped COVID. Anyway, so I was able to talk to some of the guys at the beginning and asking them what did they think now, because of the involvement of the city. The city was so involved in this tournament because of Amy's relationship that she built. So what they brought to the table was probably the most amazing thing about the tournament. It was $5,000 to whatever we wanted to spend the money on to make the tournament better.
That's really generous.
And not just that, they also paid, which was pretty much valued at another $5,000, just under $5,000, to have their workers, and they provided the waters, the ice, the stations manned by all their workers with their little motorized vehicles and everything.
Dude,
so
that water was all freaking godsend.
Yeah, and dude, let me tell you something. As a TD, having to be in charge of something like that that's like 60. I would say 80% of the work come tournament day is making sure the players are hydrated.
Dang.
Because they're just, when it's hot, in the morning you're good. And then all of a sudden you start getting those texts like, hey, it's getting low. And you got to go out there and you got to figure out a way to get all that water and all that ice out there. And if you don't have the right equipment, it's rough. It's going to take a crew to get everything done. And getting those type of volunteers that are willing to do that for a players pack, it's tough. Now we have a lot of wonderful volunteers. I'm not saying that. There were so many that wanted to help, but we were like, oh, well, we got it.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have.
The city has paid for it. So not only did they pay for that, all the water stations being filled each day on both Live Oak courses. Pizza on Saturday and Sunday from Marco's. Marco's isn't no like $5
That's good
hot and
pizza,
ready,
dude. Yeah.
But we were allowed to use the money to spend on only Live Oak businesses. So we were able to get Marco's Pizza every hour and a half, delivering 10 pizzas.
Dude, those things flew off that table, though, dude.
And they did. I know it probably wasn't the most like healthiest thing, but they did not care.
It's survival. It's 100 degrees. People are exercising, working hard. They need the bread. They need the calories. Right?
They did, and they destroyed it. So the City of Live Oak paid for that. We had a players party. Check this out. The players party. There's a pool. Then there's like this cool pool hall area where you can have a lot of stuff inside. It's air conditioned and it has like a kitchen and all that. And then there's like a nice outside area with picnic tables. And this is kind of where we would hang out. And then on the right side, there's like, I would call it a pool shack. Okay. It's very small, probably the size of this room. And that's what we would usually use for the players party. But Live Oak said, you know what? Come on to the big house.
That's cool.
And
that's really cool.
They put us in the pool house, air conditioning. I mean, we had tables out where they also served us Milt's Barbecue, which is a local Live Oak business, that we were able to purchase barbecue plates for the players. So everybody got to eat barbecue plates. We had so much that we had leftovers. We brought it back out on Sunday.
That's awesome.
And I don't know if you saw that, but we had like the barbecue out, and the pizza was coming again. So everybody was looking forward to the pizza. All that done by Live Oak. All of that.
That's incredibly generous. That's awesome.
When I say I want to highlight, I mean that, yes, we would have run a great tournament without that. But that takes it to the next level. I mean, that makes it, to me, better than any Pro Tour event that I've ever been to.
Yeah, I've never gotten pizza from the event.
Never. And I'm sure they do for their players, but we just don't see it.
Sure.
Because I have been to some places where they do. But we had plenty to help with some spectators too. Everybody got food. They added to their players pack, like an extra mini. The pros got a players pack.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't much, but hey, they get a players pack. They got a mini, which included their free meal. So the pros even got a free meal. Then they got like a little towel from Live Oak, or they could choose a coin that had Live Oak on it. Mm-hmm. Or if you wanted a nail filer, they had a Live Oak nail filer.
Hey, I mean, life on the road, I'm sure they're going to be digging through a drawer and being like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I mean, it's to get rid of a little... Yeah, so it was just incredible to see what all came from, like I said, women's disc golf. Without women's disc golf, none of that extra stuff happens. Like I said, it would have been a great event still, but that extra cherries on top, because there was so much, really made the event happen. And thank you, Amy. I'd applaud Amy. If there's any I know they do like awards and stuff like that. She deserves one. And we ended up giving her one at the end. You know, it was a plaque that we made through Strick and Bogey Free. I don't know have you ever met Strick? Was that the first time seeing his trophies?
Yeah, I think it was my first time seeing them, and I was blown away. They looked incredible.
Yet another thing, and we can do Jay's points on how to be a good TD, because it's not being a certified official and being stern. I like to say that I'm like my old school that old school boxing referee, the bald guy. Oh, I forgot.
Nicky from Rocky.
I'm fair, but I'm firm.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like that. You know what I mean? He's fair, but he's firm, and I believe that's how you should be. But yeah, player experience. You know, trophies. Go all out, and don't just go all out. Check out Bogey Free. Those are our guys. We get all our trophies done by them. Veteran. If you want to support veterans, I mean, go to Bogey Free. I mean, I've seen several Pro Tour TDs use Strick to make their trophies. So, I mean, hey, if you want to support some good people, Bogey Free Disc Golf. They sponsor a lot of cool players that we even have. So make sure you support them and check out our trophies. I'm sure you got pictures that you can put up all around.
They're up right now, yeah.
But yeah, they do such an amazing job. And it is very easy to work with this guy. I mean, I give him the logo, and then he just like, I got it. Don't have to worry about it. He shows up tournament Sunday and just drops them off, and people are just like, oh my god, these are so cool. Like,
yeah, they looked legit. They had like little things like our logo. They had the like mint and stuff on it too.
Yep.
Like it looked. I mean, I don't mean this meme, but like it looked legit. Like you would see this on like a championship type, ceremony.
Or like you wouldn't, because you remember Worlds. Like Worlds last year was just like, you don't know how many people reached out to me after the Worlds trophy and was just like, or like the next tournament we ran, it was like, oh my god, these are way better trophies than the ones they gave out to the people at Worlds. And I'm like, yeah,
there you go. That's
free. Yeah. So I'm glad that we're able to shout Strick out because he does so much for me. I really appreciate everything he does.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And who doesn't want to support a cool vet like him, man? Seriously. And his wife, Kiki, is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, like that's what I like about these more, I guess, like the A tier type events, like the the giant elite ones. Those are cool, but these are so much more intimate and stuff. Like something I liked was every time you sent off a card, you would at the end of the like this hole has this restriction, whatever, blah blah blah. You would be like, and at the end, good or bad, I'd love feedback.
Yeah.
On the event, anything that you think can be improved upon or whatever, and I think that's really cool too, because it's a direct relationship with the players, and who knows what kind of a tip or whatever or complaint you can get that'll make the event even better next time.
Yeah, not only that, if it's something small too, and that person, if they feel like it's a good idea and it's something small that I can do, and they come back the next year and they see it, they feel so much a part of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's what I like. That's the type of vibes that I like to give off when I run these things. Like I want you to feel like you've been a part of this, because let's be real. Without all these people signing up, I couldn't do all this stuff. I would not be able to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, so it's because of the players that believe in us, like Lucky Ace, AC/DC, Mint Disc, that they know, okay, when these guys get together, this is going to be fun. There's times where we've had a water slide, you know what I mean? Like snow cone machine, like, Lucky Ace, we try to definitely go above and beyond. And that stems from my customer service days as a insurance agent. Like I was always taught, I worked for those big companies that were like, customer experience is everything. Like it is everything to us. This is how we keep our customers. And it's the same thing with disc golf. The way you treat your customers, if you treat them well, they're going to keep coming back to you and they're going to support you. And that's something that I love about the disc golf community, is that they love to go out and to support their people. So when they feel included and they feel a part of something, they're going to run out and just die for you. Really. They really do.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's disc golf. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I love about this sport. That is disc golf. Like the people. And the people are pretty dope.
It's a very communal sport. Yeah. As someone who's still, semi new to it, I'm blown away by I got a text last week of a disc that I lost a year ago. And I'm like, thank you so much. You can keep it.
Was it in another state?
It was, I think it was, I forgot. It was like somewhere like South, more South Texas. But it's like, I know where I lost it. That dude went swimming and stuff to get that disc.
Yeah.
And it's like, the fact that he would even offer to return it is like, you don't experience that type of thing with other sports. It's just the community part of it is just.
And like,
cool.
So I asked where, because sometimes people will pick it up and then they'll just play with it and then they'll lose it and then somebody else finds it.
Yeah, there's a few discs that haven't gotten back yet.
I've known people to like buy the disc from like the diver at the cheap price that he charges and still call and be like, hey, I got your disc. Hey, I got your disc. And I'm like, dude, you just paid for those. And he's like, yeah, but these are people's property, man. I'm going to get it back to them. I'm like, you're what is good about this sport. Like, and don't ever stop. Like, it's like that Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Don't ever leave. Like,
like I lost it kind of broke my heart. I lost the nocturnal, Mason's nocturnal bullet. I lost one it was some course in the DFW area. And I'm like, oh, that one's a heartbreaker for me because it sucked that I lost it. And then I drove home here in Houston, and I got a text with a picture of hey, found your disc. I'm like, dude, I don't live there. I'd be willing to pay you to send it out to me because that's a sentimental disc to me. And he sent it to me, never gave me his information in terms of like paying him back. Like it was just,
and he paid to have that shipped to you.
And that's not cheap. So like it's that type of thing that the community does that I really appreciate.
And it's definitely the good vibes. I totally believe in that. Whatever you do is coming right back. So putting those positive vibes in, I know that guy did that and he paid for it and he's going to be getting something in return. Like that's just the way. That's just the way it works.
And it incentivizes even me, who I'll find a disc. And then it's like, I know how much it meant to me when someone else went the extra mile to return my disc. So I always try to
just the thought, really. Like, you know how they say it's the thought that counts. I mean, I've had people send me pictures like that and been like, hey, I found it. And I'm like, you know what? Keep it. Thank you. But it's yours, you know? And a part of it too, sometimes is like, I'll lose something here.
Yeah.
And I've had, so my furthest one, I think was like in Wisconsin.
Oh my God.
He's like, hey, I found your disc. And I was like, oh, where? And it was a good disc. I was a Doombird 3.
Okay.
And I was like, where did you find it? He said, such and such course. And I was like, where's that? And he said something Wisconsin. And I was like, dude, I'm in Texas.
What a journey that
went on. I was like, I'm in Texas. So somebody else just, who knows? Maybe they didn't know. And took it and lost it there. Now it's yours. And he's like, really? I was like, yeah, dude, really just he's like, it's a Doombird. And I was like, I know.
He's like, oh, I know.
I know. But, maybe I should stop throwing expensive discs.
Yeah.
Oh, God. By the way, I got into these alpha. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I got a bad bug with mint.
Yeah, you went to a pretty cool event like this weekend, right?
Yes, and I've recently gotten into the older runs of the alpha.
Is that Mason's fault? That
it is 100% Mason's fault. And Adam Case.
Okay,
you know Adam.
I met him. Oh, no.
I have your monopod.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I've had it for like 2 months. Anyway,
see, yeah, we're turning the stuff around. See, it's like disc golf, baby.
There we go. Yeah, so Adam, he sold me my first 2 third run Apex Alphas.
What are those, like their flight characteristics?
Pop top. For me, they're pretty stable to overstable.
Okay.
For Mason, they're pretty flippy.
Okay, fair.
But they're pop top. I mean, they got a dome for days, and I love them. They glide for days.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, the new runs are pretty close, but no.
I love my run. Mason picked, because I have a baby arm, and so he picked a flippy quote one.
Yeah.
That he got, and I love it. I throw that thing anytime I have.
For any shot, it feels like
if
the
I
alpha.
have distance, that's my when I'm trying to throw it.
I think the only alphas that and it was funny because it was right when I was getting into mint was the 5th runs, I believe. 5th run Apex, I believe. They were, and then those Sublime, the ones we got in that Lucky A stamp, they were just, I don't know, overstable for me. And they feel overstable in alpha, and I just kind of like was like, okay, the alpha's like my overstable Thunderbird. Like that's what it's gonna be. And I just didn't have that need in my bag. Well, I don't know if I'm just getting better or my arm speed's getting faster, but now they're like that straight Thunderbird.
There you go.
And the first run, yeah, I got first runs.
Are you throwing them, or what are you?
I'm throwing them. Oh, I'm throwing all.
All right, there you go.
I was gifted one, and I bought one, and the one I bought, oh no, I didn't buy the one at the vault. But we can talk about the vault if you want to talk about the vault.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because your boy was lucky. Shout out to Thomas Perks and his son. I felt a little bad afterwards because I really blamed Zach because the little guy was putting a number in and Zach got all excited and was ready for it to open and it didn't open.
Okay.
And he looked at the number and was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, well, that's really close to the number. So me and Mason were like, all right, well, what is it? This is the one that it was close to. And we're looking at it. And I think Mason was the one that decided to switch these 2 numbers. And I put it in. As I was recording my live, I put it in and boom, and it goes green. And you hear it unlock. And I'm like, what do I do? Like, I was so like, oh crap, I got it. Like, almost embarrassed that I got it, you know?
For the listener who doesn't know, can you explain what the Volt is?
Oh yeah, sorry. So Mint Discs opened their first actual storefront, and it is in Austin, and connected with Austin Beer Works. It's the coolest property because they're gonna have a championship level course.
That's cool.
So they had a work day there. A lot of people went to the work day. Shout out to them because the course is looking amazing, and it's getting ready. So they're gonna have their factory there, or not their factory, but their warehouse there is on this side of the building. Then you have the Austin Beer Works, their brewery, and then they also have like a tap room that is got the best air conditioning. Oh my God. Like when you think of a warehouse and stuff like that, you think it's gonna be hot and you know what I mean? It was nice and cool. They've been in Texas for a while. They get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is hot. So they had the best AC, and attached to that tap room is Mint Disc's storefront. It's a nice size room, bigger than here. And they have all their stuff there. Well, there's a door that has like a little red rope, and it has a code on it, and it's called the Vault.
That's cool.
And till Sunday, this past Sunday, nobody knew what the hell was in the vault. Like, nobody knew. We just figured, you know, it's probably a bunch of cool old mint, which it was. And the couple days before, Zach was dropping clues here and there. And at the event, like, I mean, you saw, I don't know if you saw their new, like, they're able to stamp that glow-in-the-dark foil.
Oh.
So, like, there was a vault, and he was showing everybody, like, the blacklight thing. Well, if you were able to investigate, you got the blacklight and you hit that vault, it said 5 numbers. So it told you a clue. Mm-hmm. And then he had a 5 on his hat. So we're like, oh, that's got to be another clue. And then there was a post that had a lot of 4s in it. So we're like, oh, 4's got to be in it too.
It's like an escape room trying
and then
to
Mason,
breaking in.
Yeah, it was. And then Mason had a putting clinic. And at the end, he gave a clue, my birthday, February. So a 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then Keith, the stamper, ended up giving us the last number, which was 8. So at that point, it was, okay, everybody just try different ones. And we're getting in this vault. And I just told you all the story. I so happen to be the one.
That's cool.
To bust in there, and the winner gets a $100 gift card.
Let's go. Clearly, you need more money to spend on this.
I know. But here's the thing. I still spent like $250.
There you go.
On 2 discs.
Oh my God, dude.
So I got a third run, all black, with a black taco stamp.
That is dope.
Like, you just can't beat it. I think that was like $175.
And you're throwing this thing?
Oh yeah.
Bro, I mean, I'm support. Use the discs you buy, but like an almost $200 disc, maybe be a little more reserved with it. In a black one, that's just asking to get lost, dude.
I know this sounds crazy, but you got to enjoy them. You know what I mean? Like, they were meant to be thrown, and people would give me a lot of, well, I almost cussed, a lot of poop
Okay.
For throwing those first cloud breakers. When I would buy them, I tried to buy them up. First it was like 50, then they went to 70, and then they were like 100 and something now. But I still threw them because I loved them.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the way these third runs are. Like, I love them, so I'm gonna throw them. I haven't thrown it yet, so maybe I'll talk myself out of it.
Throw the discs though. I mean, like, I throw sign discs just because.
Yeah. So
what are you gonna do with that?
I got that one, which I can't wait to throw. Just been so hot. And then I got a second run Eternal Alpha.
Nice.
With a stamp that I absolutely love, and it's just like a little wolf, like a cartoon wolf, and it's class of 2018, and it has Stay Mint on it.
That's
brand
cool.
new disc. I'm gonna be honest with you. This will probably come out after I gift it to him.
Okay.
But Mason was drooling over that disc so bad. And I just kept toying with him, and I was like, no. But in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna have to give him this disc. Like, I have to, because I had a third run Apex with that stamp that I just got from Adam.
Okay.
I just got it. My favorite disc. This is what got me into all this problems, right? And I threw it for 2 days. Okay. And I just seen Mason just drooling. Let me see that. Let me see it. And I'm like, just take it. He's like, no, I can't do it. I was like, yeah, you can. I was like, because that disc is only going to get thrown correctly by you, not by me.
That's
so
fair.
if you really like that disc, it would make me feel better seeing that disc fly on tour while I'm caddying for you than me possibly throwing it in the water like I did with the other one I just bought.
That's fair.
So he gifted me a first run,
Nice.
which it's a little flippier. Reminds me of my like FDs
Okay.
with more speed. So yeah, needless to say, I've been down a complete rabbit hole with alphas in the last 3 weeks. Like,
Man, people mean it mint heads, man.
dude,
they mean it.
I'm becoming a big time mint head. I looked at my bag the other day.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing else besides mint, I have Val's Scorch.
Mm-hmm.
I have Ollie's Zone, Alexis's Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have another zone, a Jawbreaker zone that has Val's stamp. And I have a Team Innova Stamp Rock 3. Dang,
But everything else is mint.
such a flex, isn't that?
It is pretty, yeah, a little, yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, I have the Rock 3. That's it though. Everything else, and honestly, I throw my Mustang over that Rock 3.
I took my Rock 3 out for the
Mustang?
Heavy Eternal Mustang. It's Mason's Mustang.
Yeah, and also if the Eternal Mustangs are just like a little bit flippier for you, faster speed, the new Sublime ones, which we have a cool stamp. They was the ones we did the Live Oak stamp on, but we're also doing another stamp for that.
Cool.
Those are where you need to be because they're stable. They might be a little bit too much for us.
Okay.
But if you're looking for like an overstable that's going to finish all the time, that's the one. Those new Sublime ones are amazing.
I'll definitely have to check that out. My bag is almost, I think it's mostly mint. It's probably 60% mint now. Just because like I still praise the Grackle. Like the Grackle's still my favorite disc.
Yeah, he throws that a lot.
For my arm speed, that's probably my alpha in terms of if I could crank it a little faster or my arm a little faster, I might be able to like level up, I guess, at the alpha.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the Grackle, I putt with bullets. I use Mason's Diamondback. It's a
good disc.
That's my distance one because I can make it flip a little bit. Like the mint discs, dude. Like
Longhorn. Have you gotten a Longhorn?
I have not
yet?
thrown a Longhorn yet. No.
Oh, I got one for you then.
Okay.
No, I do. And they have like the little LA stamp too on
That's
it.
dope.
Yeah, we got the swirl and then the glow ones pretty stable.
Okay.
Like I think the swirls I'm able to flip a little bit. So I really enjoy the distance on those.
That's cool.
Because like I said, I'm always around Mason, so I guess like I really pick up a lot of habits on my game from him. Don't look at the scores when I say stuff like that.
He's gonna be mad at you.
Yeah. Don't say that. But no, seriously, I do. And I noticed that I don't throw distance drivers.
Yeah.
He rarely does.
Like what's like your top speed like disc that you throw?
The Longhorn,
Okay.
11 speed.
There you go.
That's the fastest. I won't throw, and I barely do. For the most part, it's my alphas or my Diamondback. And I can get just almost as far as I can with more control.
Yeah, and that's why the best advice I got might have been from Mason was just slow down. I don't have a fast enough arm to utilize 11 speed, 12 speeds. It's like just
You have a
power
lot
down.
of spin though. You have a lot of torque in your.
Well, I'm trying to get, and that's actually I got made fun of the other day playing with a buddy because I have adopted Mason's little like finish pose.
Yeah.
Just because to me that's what keeps my like smooth, you know, it keeps my form smooth. And so I'm like, who do you think you are? I'm like, Mason.
Oh, the kick,
Yeah.
the little kick.
My little pose and my leg out, and like it makes me throw smoother.
Yeah.
And it's I got
No, it's good to have form that you continually like. It's something that muscle memory. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's something that he was talking about when he was doing the putting clinic. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just just dialing it in. You don't want to really change up most. You know, one thing about his putting clinic that I really took a lot from, and it's something that as I am like I never realized that I was doing this and it was screwing me up. He's like, no matter like from at least like from 5 to he said about 40, 45 feet, you never want to change how hard you're putting.
Okay.
I'm like, what? Because every time I get further, I mean, obviously I throw it harder, right? He's like, no, you don't want to do that. You want to have the same speed, at least up to 45. You just want to release it a little bit higher the further away.
Okay.
Just a little bit higher. So it changed everything for me because now like I'm not like every putt. So if you think about it, like every putt is the same putt. But the way I was putting, every putt was a different putt. So how
Yeah.
the hell am I supposed to get ready unless
sure.
I try every just take a step, keep trying 100 times.
Yeah.
So it's like that makes so much more sense, and just making sure your release is just a little bit higher the further you are out. Same speed, same putt. So I'm thinking in my head now, same putt, same putt, same putt. No difference.
His putt
here.
is insane too. Like
Yeah.
That's definitely. I wish I could have checked out that clinic. There, people can book lessons with him after
They can.
the tour is over, and I think he does. Does he do regularly? Will he allow people to do it remote?
Like over I don't know if he has. I know Raven's done that. I don't
sure
know
there's a lot of listeners who would
Mason
want.
has, but I mean, it's definitely something that he can look into. You know what I'm saying? I know he likes the, being there in front of you because he can really take a lot away from it. Recording, your form and just really detailing. I know the one thing that he always points out to me, and I think he's told you before, is just like, when you're practicing, make sure you record yourself. And if you can put yourself up next to like the people that you want to throw like, and just like narrow all your form down to that, that's going to help you out tremendously.
That's cool.
And I noticed like when I start filming myself, because when I go my walk up, it seems okay. And I see it on film, I'm like, ugh, that was way too much, bro. What are you doing? Like, so that helps you kind of tone in your form. And the walk up footwork is everything. Like the way he does it, and he doesn't have to like speed through anything. Like the guy throws 500 plus, and his walk up is just so slow and smooth.
Yeah.
And then it's to that point where he gets that whip, and then you see, boom, that disc just flies out. The one thing I always say that's different about seeing your local pros to your touring pros is the disc gets really small.
Yeah.
It just gets really small. And I'm like, yeah, I've never seen a disc get that small when I throw. You know what I mean?
It's funny, when I was recording at Live Oak, I was recording the AMs and stuff, and then like I got the muscle memory of following their discs, and then when lead card took off, I missed a few of their drives because they moved at like twice the speed, twice the distance even. Where I'm like, they're playing an entirely different sport.
Different sport. Yeah, seriously, different division. Like it is so. I mean, like we talked about, you have to average on tour like 10, 29, 25 rated just to cash.
Yeah.
Like last cash. You basically have to have perfect rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to cash.
Yeah, that's why these dudes they're elite.
It's incredible.
And the ladies, they're elite too. I know Val took it down too. Like it's not an accident how good they are.
Mm-hmm. No,
they're putting that 10,000 hours in.
And I know we haven't had a podcast since, but welcome back, Val. It is so nice to see her out there competing again. Obviously, she's not 100% as far as like where she wants to be and how she wants to be feeling. I remember DDO, her first rounds, like I saw her and I was like, yes, Val's out there. And then like I saw like fatigue and, just stuff that you have to the only way you're going to get back to it is by playing more like she is. Mm-hmm. And it's getting back. Her distance is getting back. Her putting, oh my God, is still there. So it's great seeing Val back. I can't wait to see her take one down because I know it's eventually going to happen. I really don't know how to end it.
I don't know. We'll just say bye for now, but make sure you also, the listener,
check you later.
Yeah, they workshop it. Follow Lucky Ace on all the social media stuff. Trying to get the TikTok going again. Like the youths, Instagram, Facebook, Lucky Ace Discs. You can find all the updates and stuff and cool stuff. Buy some merch. There you go.
I wore it for y'all. I know a lot of people have been looking for these. I just dropped off the Conroe one, so if you're in the Conroe area, come by and check it out. If you're at the Zip, check out the new jerseys. I will, you know what? I'll let you into another one. We got 3 jerseys coming out. One of them is a bogey face ace.
Nice.
Our first bogey face ace that's directly going to support Alan Jansen. I don't want to give away too much. I'll be announcing it real soon. Val's jersey is going to be coming out. That's going to directly support her. And we're making another sweet dope one for Alexis Mondahano.
Nice.
AKA Ollie. If you ever hear me say Ollie and I forget to specify who that is, it's Alexis. So shout out to them. Shout out to my man Keith for also taking over the bag for me. I'm going to take it back, though, but thank you, sir. No, Keith's a great friend of mine. Him and his family always come over. So until next time, I bid you adieu.
There you go.
Right?
We'll workshop, and then once we find it, it'll be a magical moment. So,
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
All right, peace.